This episode is brought to you by the European Coworking Assembly. We are everything Coworking Europe. If you head to the Coworking Assembly website, you can connect with our Rural Coworking, European Freelancers Week, Coworking Symposium, Coworking Library, and Coworking Tools.
Hello, folks. Welcome to a very special episode. I know I say they're all very special, but this one is an episode I've been dying to record since 2010, and it is about European Coworking Day. So Claudius is the engineer of all this. I usually say, what are you known for and what would you like to be known for? So let's start with that.
Hello, Bernie. Thank you for having me here.
So can you give us a little bit of background about Coworking Switzerland, and then we'll move into Coworking European Coworking Day.
So we started Coworking Switzerland as an association of coworking spaces in Switzerland back in 2015. I had my own coworking space then for 1 year, and we were just a group of coworking folks meeting in Zurich for a day of community building, and before lunch we had this idea we might start an association at some point, and in the afternoon I drafted the statutes and we founded, and we started with a board consisting pretty soon of people from German-speaking and French-speaking part of Switzerland, and since then we have grown to nearly 200 co-working spaces right now from all regions of Switzerland. So also a few from the Ticino, the Italian-speaking part.
Well, I should know this, but I didn't realize it was like a three language organization. Also, like something I've always admired is the Coworking Switzerland manifesto that's like right on the front page, which I'm actually going to read out here because it's collaboration over competition, participation over observation, doing over saying, friendship over formality, boldness over assurance, learning over expertise, people over personalities, and then it finishes with flexibility. And that I know I'm into that, Claudius. I really admire it. So where did the idea of European co-working, because nearly everyone's had some idea about this over the years, but where did it start for you?
I participated in the International Coworking Day a few times, and last year when we were somewhere in spring and in the board of Coworking Switzerland started discussing, well, what should we do for International Coworking Day? Should we promote it, etc.? And some of the board members said, well, come on, it's just right in the middle of the holidays, and it's nice to participate. It's a great idea, but the date is just not good for us. And so we started thinking about creating a Swiss co-working day, which was like the same idea, but on a better day, just for the co-working spaces in Switzerland. And from this emerged to go for rather Europe than just Switzerland. So cross-border thinking is like one of the parts of the DNA of co-working. So this is how the European Coworking Day started. So it's the idea of International Coworking Day, but with a focus on Europe and the date that is not right in the summer holidays.
Yeah, I love International Co-working Day, but the date has never worked for me. And in London, people kind of switch off in August because it's the school holidays and it's the summer. And now I live in Galicia in Spain, like everything stops in August. Like the only thing people do is like eat and go to the beach. And so it's great. So what is the date? Well, I think we should do a drum roll for European Coworking Day.
The date of the first edition this year is the 10th of May, Wednesday. And we were a little bit hesitating between spring and autumn, but in the end, the 10th of May prevailed as the date. It was actually born in a discussion at the Coworking Europe conference, where we had a session in the unconference part, which was very interesting and also inspiring because it's for me it's really good to see how this idea of European Coworking Day resonates with the coworking people. So everyone I'm talking about is like, okay, this is a good idea. It should have been there forever.
We had so with I know that Claire Carpenter from Scotland and Gareth Jones from Wales were in that session, and they're part of the. I don't know if they'd like me to say this. They're part of the United Kingdom, but they're part of the British Isles. And we've over the nearly 10 years now, probably we've done a few things together in the UK. And it's the energy that Town Square and the Melting Pot are putting behind that it's been brewing for a long time, and I'm really excited to see how that all comes together. What other people do you know around Europe that are doing things that have caught your attention so far, or you'd like other people to adopt?
Now that you mentioned Claire, I think she's now really moving it forward in Scotland. So the European Coworking Day was like a catalyst for calling the coworking spaces in Scotland together. She did a mapping exercise and has now over 100 coworking spaces with whom she is in contact, and which she is trying to get on the European Coworking Day and beyond. So this is actually what I really want to see as well, that it starts moving regions or national co-working alliances. And we see now in Hungary also, there's a brand new Co-working Hungary alliance. And we have a co-working space in Veszprém that is opening on the 10th of May. So I don't think that it's a full coincidence. And also in Greece, I'm talking to people who might in the end go towards an alliance on the long run. So that's really something that is important to me. That it's not just about this one day event, but it's about bringing the community together in the different national regions and to build new alliances.
That is one of the best things that I think has really gained traction in the last let's say like 5 years, is the country alliances and the local alliances. And in London, we're kind of working on this anyway, but when you came up with the European Co-working Day, it made us move with even more intention. Is with Sinkaroo and Hector and Robert, we're building a map of mainly independent co-working spaces, whatever shape or size they are, in London, and we're going to centre the whole European Co-working Day conversation around the map. And then one of our ambitious plans, which I'm sure we'll put off, is with our London event. We're going to link with a company called Technology Within are going to help us make a live, for the first time ever, we're going to live stream our monthly London Co-working Assembly breakfast show and attempt to connect with other groups around Europe. Hopefully we'll be able to connect with Co-working Spain, because that's on the same day, which I know a lot of people listening to this will be at. So we're going to have this, I feel it'll be like some kind of TEDathon, Live Aid, Olympics type, connection system that comes out of European Co-working Day. It'll be like the corridors at Co-working Europe, but online. What is the specific kind of information you'd like people to get? Because there is the European Co-working Day website, but if I was to bump into you in the corridor and say, Claudius, how does it work? How does it work?
It's pretty simple as a co-working space operator, because it's a distributed event, so you don't need to go anywhere except go to the coworkingday.eu website, sign up, register the location first, and then organize some event. This can be something pretty simple, like open doors or open house with a free co-working for the day for the visitors, or anything that comes with like some food, lunch, brunch, breakfast, something after work, some food and drinks, and some bites of information, some bites of knowledge. That always works well. So the ideal event, it does sound with your community. So it activates the existing community. And of course, that's the main aim. It should bring in new people, which you want to attract as new coworkers. So once you have the details of the event, you can also fill in the event section, and we will put it online. And we also have a handbook on the website that gives more insights and inspiration in case you are running out of ideas. And we will also have some community calls 2 weeks before the event. So it's really also about bringing together the co-working ecosystem. So it's not just some distributed event that stays distributed, but we also want to bring together the people. So register on the website, and then you get all the information you need.
So if you, on the website, there's the register on the website. There's also a newsletter, and here in the European Coworking Assembly, we send our newsletter every week. And in the London Coworking Assembly that I run, we put that newsletter out every week. And in those, I'm sure other people around the world at Europe are doing this too. If you just go to the European Coworking Day website, and the links to European Coworking Day website will always be in those newsletters I just mentioned. And that's how to keep in touch and find out what's going on. And the calls, we do a European Co-working Assembly call, which is mainly about European co-working, projects and stuff like that, which is really interesting if you're working on a project, but not a great thing to go to. But the calls that Claudius is running are people who are working on this, and it's only till May, so it's a really good way of finding a touch point with your peers or our peers around Europe, trying to get people into their spaces. And everything I've ever been to in my life that is a group of distributed people working on an event together, amazing. You save time by coming to the call and swapping ideas and finding out what plugin to use or how to describe something you want to do. Are you on social media? I know you're on social media. I'm just pretending I don't know, but are you on social media, Claudius?
Of course, we're on social media. So we have European Coworking Day accounts on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Mastodon also. And it's EU Coworking Day on Twitter.
And can you explain a bit about how to get a badge and the ambassadors program and local alliances and how they can get branded?
Yeah, for the local alliances or national alliances, and also individuals who want to start building an alliance, we have the ambassadors program. So that also go through the registration on the website, and then we support you in supporting your co-working spaces in the alliance or in the region to become part of the European Coworking Day.
Amazing.
And for all of the participating events, we will provide some Canva templates which you can use. So there's like the co-branding, because we cannot like put a full branding on everyone's co-working spaces branding. So it's like a co-branding that you can put a banner that it's like part of the European Coworking Day within your own communication.
And so the other thing I'd like to draw to your attention is that our friend Vika from the Ukrainian Co-working Association is working on this project with the Janine and the European Co-working Assembly about supporting people building their local alliances in different countries, because there's a few of us that have like Claudius and me and Janine and Co-work in Spain and German Coworking Federation, and sure there's others I've forgotten, who've gone through that process of navigating a group of people in a country to work together towards building, an alliance and awareness of co-working. So this is a really good place to sort of get together and actually do something together, because very often it's easy to have an idea, and I promise you, listeners, that getting involved in European Coworking Day will give you that energy, traction, and inspiration that will help you build something in your local area. And we talk about this a lot, that there's the co-working flexi space bubble that know about co-working, and there are millions, maybe even billions of people who have no idea what co-working is. And particularly if you live in a smaller town or city away from a Berlin, London, Munich or Paris, this is a great way of elevating awareness of the value of co-working for your business and your local community. Is there anything I've missed out or we've missed out that you're dying to say, Claudius?
There's just one thing I want to add. Talking about the long-term perspective, of course, we want to have the European Coworking Day as a repeating event, coming back every year. And we're also starting on a platform to educate the broader public with testimonials and examples, how companies make use of co-working spaces, how they experience the advantages of the co-working space concept. And that's something that will hopefully also bring some new momentum on the long run for the whole co-working ecosystem.
I'm sure it will. I've always been positive about the co-working, but this year I've never been more positive about co-working. And there's yourself and others with that. There's a very long-term view that I think, I don't know where it came from, but it's happening. And Claudius, yourself, we're going to put links in the show notes, but where can people track you down personally?
I'm on LinkedIn as the handle Coworking Evangelist.
I wanted that one. I was so annoyed when I went there and found you had it. It took me a while to get over that. But so Coworking Evangelist on LinkedIn, and then what's the name of your? I should know that, shouldn't I? What's the name of your co-working space, Claudius?
It's Creative Space.
Creative Space. Okay, we'll stick that in the show notes too. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate you coming forward and I know everyone does, going, okay, we're doing this. And that's what makes things happen in the mystical machine of the European Coworking Assembly. Is there's always projects lying around, and when someone comes up and says, let's do this, that's where the magic happens. Thank you very much, everyone. Cheers for your time and attention today. If you go to coworkingassembly.eu, and you can join I know no one wants to join a newsletter, but the newsletter you'll be joining is podcasts, blogs, news, events, and it's one of the best places to consistently get connected to projects I think we mentioned nearly every project in this podcast today, but there's a lot happening, and we love meeting people in person, and we love helping people make things happen. So be careful out there. It is a jungle.